And good morning. It is 20 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning is Perry Toles, who's along with the fine folks at Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell, and Healthy Kids, Chavez County, has helped organize a fun event that's really for families. I mean, it's kind of we're focusing on getting the kids out physical and things, but it's really a family affair here, the Splash and Dash. First off, Perry, good morning. How are you today?
Mike, good morning. Thank you for having me on.
Well, anytime. Love talking and getting folks out, informed about all this stuff. So, coming up on July 30th, Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell, and Healthy Kids, Chavez County, two great organizations here in our community, have partnered together to put on this Superkids Splash and Dash event. And obviously, we've had Healthy Kids on for years, and their main focus is getting kids healthy, nutritious food, access to it, and at the same time being physical and promoting healthy lifestyles and things like that. ENMU-R, obviously, they've got a whole healthcare section and things that's part of their education as well too. So it's natural to say, hey, so Perry comes in, who's the pentathlete and triathlete, is come in and organize this event, and now we got a pretty fun event for kids to get active and get physical, but maybe at the same time learn, maybe get an interest into maybe, if not triathlete or pentathlon type things, at least, maybe taking up cross country running or swimming more or something like that. Getting finding their niche in whatever it is that they like to do physically,
Mike, a lot of your listeners probably say, hey, that sounds familiar. And there was a Superkids triathlon. In fact, my mom, Sally Toles, and I, we started that about 35 years ago.
Okay.
City put it on annually at the end of the summer. It happened at Cahoon Pool.
Okay.
And once Cahoon Pool closed, that event stopped.
Yeah. So was it kind of like in the same tradition of Dexter's, the Milkman Triathlon? Did it, where it kind of had maybe not so much of the pageantry of that, but some of the history like that one does.
It was a swim, bike, and run.
Yeah.
And it became very popular. And then the adults, the moms and dads, say, hey, can we do it? So we added an adult division to that event called the Once Was.
Okay.
I once was a kid. And if you once were a kid, you can actually, you have a division here in the Splash and Dash.
Nice.
So it's for young kids. The youngest division is under 10.
Okay.
And then this middle division is 11 years old to 14 years old. And then kids 15 and older. And then the last division is the Once Was. And it's a short, just swim, run, multi-sport event.
Nice. So you get to, like if you always wanted to do like a triathlon or something like, but you're kind of like, I don't know if I'm quite ready to do the full 5K, the all involved. This could kind of, pardon the pun, but get your feet wet a little bit.
Exactly. Just jump in.
Yeah.
Just jump right into the multi-sport scene.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the college has a great outdoor swimming pool facility. And
It's
I think a lot of
beautiful,
people don't realize there's another pool here in town besides the new aquatic center.
Yes.
And it's a nice pool out there. So.
Yeah, and they just reopened it back up. COVID kind of shut it down for a couple years, but here at start of summer, ENMU-R opened that pool back up. Which, by the way, they've got public swimming daily, and they I don't remember the hours off the top of my head, but there's like an hour or two for like lap swimmers and stuff, and then there's open swim afterwards. So, and then of course you can rent the facility. Like in the evenings or later, you just talk to the pool about that. But it's all available to the public right now.
That's true. And Mike, I'd like to invite everybody who's even a bit interested to come out for a free race clinic this Saturday, 10 to 11 o'clock at the outdoor pool at Eastern New Mexico University Roswell campus.
Excellent. So that'll be 10 to 11 tomorrow. And I think
it is tomorrow.
It is.
Wow, here we are.
And I want to say in my head, I feel like that's their normal lap swimming time, around that time. I want to say for lap swimmers.
It is, and the pool people said hardly anybody is swimming laps out there. So,
Gotcha.
hey, you adults are having a hard time finding a lane at the city aquatic facility? that's another option.
Hey,
for
there you go. Less
Yeah.
traffic over at the ENMU-R.
Yeah, so 10-11 out at the outdoor pool on the Roswell campus.
Okay.
And that's, if you're not sure where that is, it's on the intersection of University and Martin.
Yes, I believe if you want to use your GPS and stuff, I had the address right here. I just got to dig through it. Swim will be all right. Hold on. Dang it! I remember seeing it earlier when I was reading the press release. But yeah, it's if you look at the. I always, when I say it, when you come south down towards the campus there, and you come down Main Street there, and then you take your right, and you kind of see the campus there. If you kind of look straight ahead, that's kind of where the pool area is
Exactly.
on that side there.
Kind of
So-
the first group of buildings on the right. as
yeah,
you're coming south
exactly.
into
Yeah,
the campus.
that's exactly where it is here. All right, where am I going to see be held? I'm sorry. I apologize.
That's
It's like I know I saw it here.
well, we'll
20 West Martin. That's the address.
20 West
20 West Martin is the official address. So.
And this is not an Ironman. You don't have to just spend all day doing this event. Really, the swim is either one length of the pool or 2 lengths of the pool.
So
and
it's
then you get out, put on your shoes, and it's 1 lap around the field or 2 laps around the field.
Yeah, so it's not an all-day thing.
It's
You
not.
know, give it an hour or two of time in your day to do all this stuff, and of course, have fun. That's all part of this too. We talk about wanting you to get physical and get out there and get healthier physically, exercising and things like that's always important. However, if it's not fun for you, you're probably not going to want to do it as often and stuff. So think about it that way. Is you're here to have fun swimming and running and do it at the way you want to do it to enjoy it.
Exactly. And the kids that show up at the clinic tomorrow have a chance to get swim instruction. We want to make sure they're water safe and give them a little bit of practice.
Sure.
And some hints on how to successfully do a multi-sport event. How do you transition out of the pool onto the run?
Yeah.
Well, I have some training tips for these athletes.
Yeah, you Perry, you've done how many years did you do triathlons and pentathlons?
I competed in the sport of triathlon for about 35 years.
Okay.
I've competed in about 200 triathlons.
Okay,
And-
so yeah, you've got quite a bit of experience there on because I imagine that's where. When it comes to running or running one of these races, it's kind of like swimming when they do the laps. It's anybody can swim fast, but if you do the mechanics of the turns and all that, that's where you start shaving time. I would imagine, much like in a triathlon or a pentathlon, that transition from event to event, doing that right is the difference between winning and not winning those, I'm guessing.
That's right. The
Yeah.
shorter the triathlon, the more important that transition time is.
Gotcha. Okay.
So we'll talk about that because this is a very short swim run event, the splash and dash.
Sure. And I would imagine, too, like I said, there's always a right way and a wrong way to do things, but doing it the wrong way in this could, because you're putting physical exertion on your body, it's all about, doing that transition right and faster, but also doing it to protect your health as well, too. So you don't overdo it or know when to say when sometimes.
That's true. I'm going to give some training tips on what the minimal preparation should be for an event like this. It's not much because it's short. It's designed to get everybody involved.
You don't need to load up on 80 pounds of pasta and carbs and everything.
Now, mom and dads, you may need a little bit more training than your kids because
Sure.
they're always a lot more active and running around.
They're used
so.
to being active, and you might have to build back up to get there. But that's where you're coming in and saying, I'm helping you with all that. Come out tomorrow. Come out this Saturday,
Right.
beginning at 10 a.m. to the ENMU-R pool. And like you said, Perry and the class will be doing kind of training for these triathlons and things. And like you said, offering swim lessons and things like that. I have a question for you. I grew up East Coast, Maryland, Virginia. That's where I grew up. So I kind of grew up around the water.
Okay.
Folks around here don't have as much access to things like that. I'm curious. Is it? And I don't have kids, and I've been here 20 plus years. But are kids? Is it more difficult for getting kids to learn how to swim here in New Mexico, where there's less opportunity? I mean, unless you take them to one of the pools. But I don't know. I grew up in a place where we had the rivers, the lakes. I mean, you're always around water. at some point someone's teaching you how to swim. I mean, or here you're less opportunity. Is it a bigger challenge to get children to learn how to swim in this part of the country?
I don't think so. I think
Okay.
we had sufficient programs when I was growing up.
Gotcha.
And we had every neighborhood swimming pool had a swim team.
Gotcha.
And we were organizing swim meets among the neighborhood swim pools. We have Bottomless Lake State Park. Have you ever been out there on the weekends? It is crowded.
It is. Don't swim at Bitter Lake. They won't let you. But
No, not
bottomless lakes,
Exactly.
knock yourself out. Have fun.
One of the sad things about the pandemic and the shutdown is that we went a couple of years with no swim lessons, no pool availability.
I didn't think about that, but that's a good
And
point.
I think there's some kids that kind of miss that opportunity to learn how to swim.
Sure.
But it's never too late to learn how to swim.
Absolutely. Yeah. And even if your end game is not to become a triathlete swimmer, it's still good enough to at least so you can manage to stay in water if you unexpectedly end up in some, and then you can at least tread water, float until you need to be rescued or
That's
something
correct.
like that. So but even still, just enough to have fun in the backyard pool. I mean, to have that ability to swim laps and do all that. Once you get that down, it's actually, it's like riding a bicycle or anything else. Once you learn it, you have it forever, and it's a great thing to have. I don't care who you are or where you are in life. It's always a good skill set to have in your back pocket.
That's true. And as I always say about a triathlon, it always comes down to the run. That's the last event.
Sure.
You're tired. You've exerted yourself with the swim and the bike. Same thing about the splash and dash. We've invited all the age group swimmers to come do this, and they saw the distances, and they were kind of complaining, "Wow, it's too short. I'm a swimmer. Why is it longer?" Well, the run is probably going to challenge more of the kids than the swim.
Sure.
Because the swim is so short.
And to be honest, how often have these kids, or adults for that matter, done them together? Like, you may have gone and swam, and then what do you do afterwards? You sit did you go run after that, or did you go run, but were you swimming before that, or after, for that matter?
Exactly.
And it's different.
There's something special about going from one event to the other.
Sure.
You're just continuing that aerobic exertion.
I'm curious obviously, if you've ran so many of these races, how much of it's mental versus physical in the training? I mean, obviously physical is very important. You got to, in shape, the faster you're going to go. But how much of it is telling your brain to keep going, or telling your brain you're going to push through something? Or, I mean, how much of the side of it is mental? Is it a 50-50 scenario, or skewed one way or the other, higher or lower?
Well, I think for most people, it's mostly physical. Once
Gotcha.
you train to an elite level, then the mental part becomes much more important, I think.
Gotcha. Okay, because then you start second guessing yourself and wondering, did I do the right training here? Or this, you start, I guess, overanalyzing, or tend to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One more thing I just realized is that there's usually a user fee at the college pool.
Okay.
But they're waiving those user fees for the day for those kids that come to the clinic on Saturday, tomorrow, from 10 to 11.
So get a little free swimming in.
Yeah,
while you're here,
just
too.
bring your swimsuit, bring your shoes. We'll do the clinic, and then if you want to stay there for a few more hours and do some more swimming,
Yeah.
they don't have to pay.
Because that open swim's like right afterwards, isn't it
Exactly.
there? So you can utilize that and take advantage of that and enjoy some more pool time afterwards, whether you want to train or just, piddle around with your friends. Either way, you can have some fun in there. The event on July 30th, by the way, the 10 and younger group, they'll swim 25 meters and then run 500 meters, according to what I'm looking at here.
That's correct. I think it's 25 yards. I don't know if it says meters.
It says meters on here.
Yeah,
but,
I think that's a 25-yard pool. So.
Yard, okay. 11 to 15-year-olds will swim the 50 yards and then run 1K.
That's correct. That's 1,000 meters. That's that's less than a mile.
Yes, and then our once was our kids at heart, which is basically everybody else 15 and over. You'll run 1K, and then swim 50 meters, and then run 500 meters. So that one you're going to swim, run, or run, swim, run. Again.
Right.
So
that older age group and the once-wasers, the adults, they are going to be doing a run, swim, run. And, and in the triathlon world, they call it a duathlon.
Okay.
And that's, That's even more fun. You got 2 transitions you got to navigate
Which,
through.
but again, that's kind of I imagine you go one way to another, and then so there's again another little mental aspect to that here. Now, this is where I'm generally just lacking of knowledge here. I'm curious, since we're talking about this triathlon, we kind of established, but a pentathlon. What events are considered part of a pentathlon?
Pentathlon, the modern pentathlon.
Yeah.
Was established specifically for the Olympic Games.
Okay.
George Patton was the United States' first Olympic pentathlete in 1912, by the way. And it has a long history with the military.
Gotcha.
So it has running, swimming. It does not have cycling.
Okay.
It has shooting.
Okay.
It has fencing with épées.
Okay.
And equestrian jumping.
Okay, I knew shooting was involved, but I didn't know there. So fencing and equestrian. That's cool,
right? And recently they've combined the run and the shooting.
Okay,
kind of like the winter biathlon.
Sure, with the skiing.
So the pentathletes will run a loop, shoot 5 shots, run another loop, shoot 5 shots, do that 4 times.
Interesting. Now, for folks that aren't really knowledgeable, what makes that very challenging is when you're shooting a rifle, it's all about breath control and sight pictures to get your target. When you just ran a mile or 2 and then said, oh, here, go shoot rifle perfectly while you're going, okay, I'll do that. That is a feat in and of itself, because it really, especially for rifle, when they're trying to, with rifles where they can get 5 shots within the size of a dime here, that takes a lot of breath control. And to be able to do that after you just ran a couple miles is pretty impressive.
Well, modern pentathletes shoot pistols.
Oh, wow.
Offhand.
So it's not even rifles,
yeah,
huh?
offhand, without the use
man.
of your offhand. So
that
may be even more challenging.
It very, because a pistol's much more difficult to aim than a rifle is, just to let folks know.
Especially when you're huffing and puffing.
Yeah, because by the way,
run.
you're holding that whole pistol up with your arms, and that's a lot of weight when you've just been running.
And
or
just
swimming.
one arm, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's one arm. That's impressive. That's impressive. What about the fencing side? That's got to be a lot of fun to add in there. I mean,
well, it is. It's a martial art of sorts. People describe learning how to fence like learning a language.
Sure.
Right? You learn the alphabet, then you learn sentence structure and grammar. And then when you get up on the fencing strip against an opponent, whoever can make the best argument is usually going to get their point across.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Yeah. But I mean, it's so much that's such a different set of, even mentally, I mean, physically, fencing is, there's physicality to it, but that's all strategy and you know what I mean? You're trying to outwit an opponent.
A lot of strategy, a lot of technique.
Yeah. Yeah. That is more of, it's not, what will help you a lot farther than who you know, and something like that. It really is it's like chess. When I think of fencing and chess are share a similar family tree there as far as
when I started the modern pentathlon, I only had a run swim background, and that's how they usually recruit modern pentathletes. They say, if God didn't put in the run and swim, you're not going to develop it. Whereas the fencing, the equestrian, and the shooting is more of a skilled learn event.
Okay.
So I started from scratch for those 3 skilled events.
I would argue, though, that one could help the other. And what I mean by that is, because really fencing and that really forces discipline, forces, to do it right, you need to have some of that in there. And I would imagine that's got to transition over to your running and swimming. Like it gives you a little bit more fortitude, a little bit more, I imagine the mental fortitude, the mental aspect of fencing trains you in the running and swimming.
Mike, you're absolutely right. And one of the popular training, what I should say, philosophies is cross-training. Cross-training helps any athlete become a stronger athlete in their primary discipline.
Gotcha.
And with 5 events in the modern pentathlon, you're already cross-training.
By default, yeah.
And they do help.
I would imagine,
they do
too.
help, I think.
So if you come out to the Splash and Dash on the 30th, or come out to swim lessons tomorrow, and you're like, hey, this is kind of fun, and pick Perry's brain here for some more stuff, and maybe that's going to be your what your whether it's something you pursue as a career thing or at least a hobby activity or something that you do the rest of your life, you've got that skill set or that under your belt now. And so hopefully you come out, learn swim tomorrow, and you, pardon the pun, but take like a fish to water here on this, and then next thing you know, you got bit with the bug, and it happens.
Well, I do. I want to encourage everybody, just come out and check it out. If you don't like it, then you don't have to sign up. But if you're already convinced you want to do this, sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Just search for Superkids Splash and Dash. You'll find the very popular online registration sign, Run Sign Up.
Okay.
That's where the Superkids Splash and Dash, where you can register. Right now, and for another week, registration fees are 50% off.
Oh,
half
wow.
off. Only $5 for the kids to sign up for this event.
Oh, wow. So this is really, so if you're even looking for this as a learning to swim, this is exactly, come on, sign up. Like I said, it's $5. That's uber cheap. But if you go online, if you just, like you said, do probably a search for, because there's a lot of dashes and dots to get you to the website here.
Yeah,
but if you do Super
Kids
Kids Splash, Roswell, New Mexico,
you're going to get it.
It should pop right up. But it's under trysignup.com is where the
try sign up or run sign up. But it'll
that's the main page,
places,
but there's a lot of tabs and stuff to go through there. So if you kind of probably just search Super Kids Splash and Dash Roswell, New Mexico, that'll probably take you right to the link you need.
You might even put your registration link up on your webpage.
Yeah, we can do that. We will do that. We'll have our we'll have Roy here on for those watching the video can see the link there underneath. So yeah, I don't think high tech is quick as other people do. My brain doesn't go there. But come on out tomorrow if you kind of want to see if this is for you. Then join Perry tomorrow morning, beginning at 10 a.m. out at the ENMU-R pool for a free swim lesson and then you can stick around afterwards for free swim and keep practicing those skills there. But come on out and join the lap swimmers from 10 to 11 tomorrow and spend some time with Perry, kind of doing a little training, a little bit learning whether it's your first time, learning to swim here or you just want to kind of strengthen those swimming skills. You got the mechanics. Now you just want to get it down. Practice makes perfect. And and it's coming out tomorrow morning, beginning at 10 a.m. And then again, July 30th for the 10-year-olds. Everything will begin at 8 a.m. For the 11 to 15-year-olds, you'll start your splash and dash at 8:30, and the once wasers will start theirs at 9 a.m. What time do you want everybody out there that morning? Probably
at least 30 minutes before, so they can warm up and
pre-register or whatever they got to do.
Look at the course.
Study the field.
The field.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Get your notes in whenever you're looking to do all that. Right. But July 30th, Saturday, July 30th, again, Google Super Kids Splash and Dash Roswell. You'll find the link there. We'll put it up on our website. And if you completely space out on any of that, you can call Perry direct here too.
And the only other thing I can think of is that every participant gets a T-shirt.
Oh, yes.
Splash and Dash T-shirt.
Always get the freebies.
We're going to hand out awards 5 deep. So 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th in each of the age divisions.
Nice. So maybe your child might get their first little trophy here for physical.
It'll be actually
for sports.
It'll be a medal.
A medal
with a nice ribbon lanyard.
Yeah, nice. Very good.
Like they hand off at the Olympic Games.
Yeah, per first piece of hardware.
There you go, hardware.
But definitely. And, of course, if you have any questions, sorry if I give your number here, you can reach Perry direct at 575-626-3190. And don't forget, Saturday, the 30th of July, at the ENMU-R pool, it is the Super Kids Splash and Dash event. It's for really kids of all ages, but for 10 and younger will get to play. The 11 to 15-year-olds get to play, and then the once wasers 15 and beyond get to play as well too. Right. So come into and this is the great part. If you're trying to get your children to be more physical and get more of the physical, COVID's really hampered all of us. Even if you don't, even if you kind of think you are, but you don't realize that we sat on our butts a lot for the last 3 years, and I mean, even as an adult, I've noticed. I was doing some physical stuff for the weekend. It's like, part of it's getting older, but part of it's like, yeah, we've been kind of sedentary for the last couple of years. It's kind of time to start getting back out there and enjoying life and running and walking and hitting nature and doing all that.
Well, Mike, why don't you come to the clinic tomorrow? Give it a try.
There you go. I might be swinging by there. You never know. So, but definitely, folks, come give it a try. And then parents. Like I said, if you're trying to get your kids, the best time is a lot of times to say, I'll do it with you.
Yeah.
And so you can come out tomorrow too. Bring your kid for swimming lessons, and you get in the pool and swim a lap or two with them there, and let Perry kind of do his tutelage on him and work his magic, and then sign up for the July 30th event. And you get, I think if you even want, maybe if you're looking to get your foot in the door in the triathlon, pentathlon community and things, this might be a good way to kind of learn the ins and outs and meet some of the other people that call this a sport for them as a hobby or a profession or whatever.
Right. As you know, we have two local triathlons, the Bottomless Triathlon, which is in July, and the Milkman Triathlon, which is in June.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, we've been at the Bottomless Triathlon, athletes 18 and under, or athletes under 18, it's free to sign up for the Bottomless Triathlon.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that.
And they've been telling me that they're not getting hardly anybody to sign up, even though it's free.
Interesting.
It's a great event.
Well, maybe we should promote that more.
We're gonna establish a pipeline of athletes from the Superkids on up to regular triathlons.
And then, of course, there's a great history of not necessarily triathlons or any of those, but like 5Ks and stuff. Your Tour de Ocho Millas is something that's an annual event here. Of course, UFO Festival, the Alien 5Ks, and all, usually around big events. Those are all opportunities to get involved in doing some more of that, whether it's for fun or for training towards biathlons and triathlons. It's or pentathlons, whatever your choices are here. So. But it really is a lot of I think, and here's the part I think I like about it too. It's you can take it as far as you want with it. Team sports are important, and I will always, it's good to put a child in a team sport because there's so many offset skills that they learn in team sports. But there's something to be said for your more individual sports too, and where it's all you competing, and sports like running and swimming, and for that matter, even tennis and golf and things like that. These, when it's you versus the world mentality, there's a lot of lessons to be learned in that too.
You're right. And what I like to say is that there's no second string, there's no bench, there's no halftime, there's no timeouts.
Yes,
you toe the line with everybody else, and when the gun goes off, you go, and you're finished when you cross the finish line.
Sure. And you're always running your race. And that's the beauty of these races is, the professional, they're competing against time and other people, but you set the parameters here at reality. You set your own goals. If you're just picking up this sport today, you're not going to be winning triathlons tomorrow. You got to get there. Right. But you get this sport sets personal goals. It's like, I did it, and last time I did it, I'd like to shave 5 minutes off this time, or whatever it is, Well,
you're right. And this is the first year we've ever had a splash and dash. There are no records.
Yeah.
There's going to be a record set, and everybody who does this event will set an own personal best record.
There you go. Right? So it's really, you're setting your own goals here and setting your own fit. So please look into it. Come out tomorrow for the swim lessons. Even if nothing else, come out to the pool and ask Perry questions about the event on the 30th.
Yeah, and don't forget to bring your running shoes because it's going to be swim and run clinic.
That's right. Yeah. Yes, it's hard to run when you don't have your running shoes.
Right.
The bare feet will wreak havoc. Perry, is there any information we missed that we wanted to get out to the public?
I think we got it. I want to thank the college, the Eastern New Mexico University at the Roswell campus. They've been so supportive. As well as Healthy Kids Chaves County.
Yeah, they and I'm sure they too both share the same mission statement that you do in getting kids out more physical and promoting the sport you love, obviously. This is a love for you, and you're hoping there's a few generations that ready to pick up that, pardon the pun, the baton to carry for the next generation.
Right.
Here. So, very good. But again, for folks to sign up for that, I'm telling you the easiest way is probably just get on the Google there or whatever you prefer, even if you're using a Yahoo or whatever's still out there. But look for Super Kids Splash and Dash event, Roswell, New Mexico, something like that, and it'll get you right there. I'm guessing you'll probably find links to on the ENMU-R website too as well. They're usually pretty good about putting a direct link there. We'll put one up on the videos here as well too. And if none of that, or if you're not an internet person and don't do well with those kind of things, you can call Perry and he can talk you through it. 575-626-3190. So very good. Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll see you again. And
stay cool.
That's easier said than done in this day and age. See, I didn't even start with that. It's going to be 100 again tomorrow. Why would you not want to be at the pool at 10 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday?
Exactly.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike.
I'd offer you some McDonald's, but I don't know if that's necessarily in the pentathlon world there as official food of champions there. All right, 7:51, we're going to take a pause for news.